Narrowing arteries, those vital pipelines feeding your heart's muscle, are quietly tightening, like a garden hose kinked under pressure. It's called atherosclerosis, and it's not loud or showy. It's a slow, silent thief. You might feel fine today, but over time, this narrowing can starve your heart, setting the stage for a myocardial infarction, a heart attack. The thought sends a chill, doesn't it? Like a shadow passing over a sunny afternoon. But here's the thing. You're not powerless. You can steer this ship, and it starts with understanding what's at stake. Back in the 1990s, Dr. Dean Ornish, a pioneer in lifestyle medicine, showed the world something radical. In his book, Dr. Dean Ornish Program for Reversing Heart Disease, he proved you could unclog arteries without surgery through diet, exercise, and stress management. He wrote, "The same lifestyle changes that can reverse the progression of coronary heart disease can also prevent it. That's not just hope, it's science." Ornish studies showed patients who swapped saturated fats for whole foods and walked daily saw their arteries open up, their hearts breathe easier. It's discipline, pure and simple. You choose what goes on your plate, whether you lace up those sneakers, whether you stub out that cigarette for good. Discipline sounds heavy like a chain, but it's more like a rhythm. Picture yourself in a quiet kitchen, chopping greens, the knife steady thwack against the board. You're not just cooking, you're building a future. Saturated fats, those heavy hitters in butter, red meat, or that tempting cheeseburger, clog your arteries like grease in a pipe. Ornish found that cutting them back, replacing them with vegetables and grains, could turn the tide. And smoking? It's like pouring sand into your bloodstream, narrowing those vessels even faster. You already know it's bad, but did you know quitting can drop your heart attack risk by half in just 1 year? That's not a lecture, that's a lifeline. Now let's step back in time. In 1913, a Russian scientist named Nikolai Anichko fed rabbits cholesterol-rich diets and watched their arteries harden. It was a quirky experiment. Rabbits don't even eat meat, but it sparked a century of research linking diet to heart disease. That one odd study, with its furry subjects munching unnatural meals, laid the groundwork for what we know today. Yet, historians still debate whether Anichko's findings were oversimplified, blaming cholesterol too broadly, while ignoring other culprits like inflammation. It's a reminder. Science evolves, but the truth gets clearer with every step. You're not just fighting a condition. You're crafting a mindset. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about showing up. Every time you choose a salad over fries, every morning you walk instead of scroll, you're telling your heart, "I've got you." It's not flashy, but it's powerful. You're building habits that stick, like bricks in a wall, each one a small act of defiance against a disease that thrives on neglect. The road ahead is long, but you're already moving. You feel it, don't you? That quiet resolve, like a pulse under your skin, steady and sure. It's telling you to keep going, to trust the process, to believe you can shape what comes next. Atherosclerosis isn't just a word. It's a process, a slow buildup of plaque that narrows your arteries like rust in old pipes. You can picture it, cholesterol, fats, and calcium gluing together, forming a barrier that chokes the blood flow to your heart. It's not dramatic, not yet, but it's real. And the clarity you're gaining right now, this moment of understanding, is your first weapon against it. Dr. Michael Greger, in his book How Not to Die, cuts through the noise with precision. Heart disease is a choice. That's not fluff, it's a wake-up call. Greger's research, grounded in decades of studies, shows that what you eat shapes your arteries. Diets high in saturated fats, think bacon, creamy sauces, or that extra slice of pizza, pile on the plaque. But swap those for plants, for foods that fight back, and you're rewriting the script. Greger points to studies where whole food, plant-based diets slashed heart disease risk by up to 40%. Clarity comes from knowing this. Every bite is a decision, a vote for your future. Let's pause on that word, clarity. It's not just about facts. It's about seeing the path. You're standing at a grocery store, fluorescent lights buzzing, and you pick up a salmon fillet, rich in omega-3s. Those fatty acids, Greger notes, thin your blood, reduce inflammation, and keep your arteries flexible. Fish like mackerel or sardines aren't just food, they're medicine. And checking your cholesterol? It's not a chore, it's a map. A simple blood test can show you where you stand, like a compass for your health. You're not guessing anymore, you're steering. Rewind to the 1950s, when heart disease was spiking in America. Scientists like Ansel Keys began the Framingham Heart Study, a landmark project tracking thousands of people to pinpoint why hearts fail. They found cholesterol was a key player, but here's the quirky bit. Early on, some researchers thought coffee was a culprit. Imagine that, your morning brew under suspicion. They debunked it, but it shows how science stumbles toward truth. Historians still argue whether Keys overstated cholesterol's role, or if stress and sugar deserve more blame. That debate keeps you sharp, reminds you to question, to seek clarity beyond the headlines. This clarity isn't cold or clinical. It's alive. You feel it when you choose water over soda, when you read a nutrition label like it's a love letter to your heart. It's in the way you pause before ordering takeout, asking, is this worth it? You're not just eating, you're building a vision, a life where your heart doesn't just survive, but thrives. You see it now, don't you? The power in knowing what fuels you, what protects you. It's like sunlight breaking through clouds, warm and sharp, guiding you forward. You're not just learning, you're becoming someone who chooses life every single day. The narrowing of your arteries, that slow creep of plaque, doesn't have to win. You're learning to fight back, not with grand gestures, but with steady, disciplined choices. It's the kind of discipline that feels like a quiet promise to yourself, made in the stillness of a morning walk or the deliberate act of cooking a meal that nourishes. This is where the rubber meets the road, where knowledge turns into action. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, in his book Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, lays it out plainly. A whole food, plant-based diet can prevent and even reverse coronary artery disease. His words aren't a suggestion, they're a blueprint. Esselstyn studies showed that patients who ditched animal fats and processed foods saw their arteries clear, their heart attack risk plummet. It's not about deprivation, it's about power. You swap that buttery croissant for oatmeal with berries, and you're not just eating, you're healing. Exercise, too, is non-negotiable. 30 minutes of brisk walking daily, Esselstyn says, boosts blood flow, strengthens your heart, and keeps those arteries supple. You feel it, don't you? The way your chest expands, the air sharp in your lungs as you move. Discipline is in the details. You're at the gym, sweat beading on your forehead, or maybe you're just circling your neighborhood, the world quiet except for birdsong. Every step is a stand against heart disease. Avoiding saturated fats, those in fried foods, fatty cuts of meat, or creamy desserts, means saying no to what clogs your arteries. And smoking? It's like setting a match to your blood vessels. Quit, and your heart starts to recover almost immediately. Data from the American Heart Association shows a 50% drop in heart attack risk within a year of quitting. That's not a statistic. It's a victory. Let's step back to the 1920s, when scientists first noticed cholesterol's role in heart disease. A quirky detail. Early researchers used crude methods, like boiling animal tissues, to measure fats in blood. It was messy, imprecise, but it sparked a revolution in understanding. Historians still debate whether these early studies focused too much on cholesterol and ignored lifestyle factors like exercise. That tension keeps you grounded. It's a reminder that science is a journey, not a destination. You're part of it, testing what works for you, refining your habits. This discipline isn't a cage, it's freedom. You're not just avoiding a heart attack, you're building a life. Picture yourself grilling fish, the sizzle of salmon filling the air with a clean, briny scent. You're checking your cholesterol, not out of fear, but because you're in control. Every choice, every step, is a brick in the foundation of your health. You're not perfect, and you don't need to be. What matters is you're here, moving forward, your heart beating stronger with every decision. You feel the shift, don't you? The way discipline becomes a quiet strength, carrying you toward a future you're shaping with your own hands. You're standing at a crossroads now, the path behind you marked by choices you've already made, salads over burgers, walks over endless scrolling. But life doesn't stand still, and neither can you. Adapting protect your heart means bending without breaking, reshaping habits that once felt carved in stone. The narrowing of your arteries, that stubborn buildup of plaque, thrives on routine neglect, but you're learning to pivot. You're not just fighting a disease. You're rewriting the way you live, one flexible choice at a time. Dr. William Banting, a 19th century undertaker turned diet pioneer, stumbled onto something profound. In his letter on corpulence, he wrote, "Avoid any starchy or saccharine matter which tends to the fatty degeneration of the system." Translation: cut back on heavy carbs and fats, and your body, including your heart, responds. Banting's low-carb approach, one of the first of its kind, inspired modern diets that prioritize lean proteins and healthy fats. You're adapting, maybe grilling a piece of mackerel, rich in omega-3s, its smoky aroma filling your kitchen. Those omega-3s, as studies confirm, reduce inflammation and keep your arteries pliable like a river staying clear of debris. It's not about perfection. It's about shifting toward what works. Adaptability is your edge. You're not locked into old habits, like that nightly ice cream ritual. Instead, you're reaching for nuts or fruit, feeling the crunch, tasting the sweetness without the guilt. Exercise isn't a chore anymore. It's a habit you tweak. Maybe yoga one day, a bike ride the next. And smoking? If you're still holding on to that habit, you're eyeing the exit. Quitting is tough, but every cigarette you skip is a step toward clearer arteries. Research shows that within months of quitting, your blood vessels start to relax, letting blood flow freer. You're not just adapting, you're thriving. Let's drift back to 1863, when Banting's pamphlet caused a stir. Here's the quirky part. He was a funeral director, not a doctor, yet his diet advice sparked a global craze. People were shocked that cutting bread and sugar could transform health. Historians still argue whether Banting's focus on low carbs ignored the bigger picture, like exercise or genetics in heart disease. That debate keeps you curious, pushes you to adapt beyond fads, to find what science supports for you. This is where resilience grows. You're not just dodging saturated fats or checking cholesterol. You're bending your life towards strength. Picture yourself at the market, picking out fish, your hands brushing against cool, silvery scales. You're not rigid, you're fluid, ready to try new recipes, new routines. Every change, no matter how small, is a victory. You feel it, don't you? The way adaptability lights a spark, like a breeze carrying you forward. You're not just surviving. You're reshaping your story, your heart beating stronger with every choice you make. Your heart, that steady drum in your chest, depends on you staying curious, staying teachable. Narrowing arteries don't wait for you to catch up. They creep in when you're not paying attention. But you're paying attention now. You're learning. Not just about cholesterol or diet, but about how to live with purpose, how to keep your heart strong by knowing more today than you did yesterday. Dr. Ansel Keys, the scientist behind the famous 7-country study, put starkly in his 1980 book 7 Countries, a multivariate analysis of death in coronary heart disease. The dietary intake of saturated fat is the major determinant of serum cholesterol, which in turn is a major determinant of coronary heart disease. Keys' work, spanning decades, show that diets high in saturated fats, like those heavy steaks or buttery pastries, spike cholesterol, clogging arteries. You're learning to sidestep those traps, choosing foods like salmon or walnuts. They're omega-3s working like a gentle scrub for your blood vessels. Checking your cholesterol regularly isn't just a task. It's a lesson in accountability. A quick blood test, a number on a page, becomes your guide, showing you what's working, what needs tweaking. Learning is power. You're at the doctor's office, the sterile scent of antiseptic in the air, getting your latest cholesterol results. Or maybe you're reading about heart-healthy diets, the glow of your screen lighting up your face. Every fact you absorb, how omega-3s lower triglycerides, how exercise boosts HDL cholesterol, is a tool. You're not just eating fish, you're choosing life. And those old myths, like the one from the 1940s claiming heart disease was just old age catching up, they're long debunked, but they're a quirky reminder. People once thought heart attacks were inevitable. You know better now. Historians still debate whether Keys' focus on saturated fat overshadowed sugar's role in heart disease, but that question keeps you sharp, pushes you to dig deeper. This learning isn't dry or academic. It's alive. You're not just memorizing stats. You're weaving them into your days. Picture yourself at a fish market, the briny tang of the ocean in the air, picking out mackerel for dinner. You're not just cooking, you're building knowledge into action. Every cholesterol check, every new recipe, is a step toward purpose. You're not afraid of the numbers or the science. You're using them like a map to a stronger heart. You feel it, don't you? The quiet thrill of understanding, of knowing you're not just reacting, but shaping your future. You're a student of your own health, and every lesson brings you closer to a life where your heart doesn't just beat, it sings. The narrowing of your arteries, that silent thread of plaque, doesn't define you. You're not just avoiding a heart attack. You're reclaiming your strength, your resilience, your life. Every choice you made, every fish-filled plate, every skipped cigarette, every brisk walk under a wide sky, has built you into someone who doesn't just survive but thrives. This is your moment, where the weight of your efforts lifts you towards something greater. Dr. Paul Dudley White, the father of modern cardiology, said in his 1951 work, Heart Disease, "The heart is a tough organ, capable of remarkable recovery if given the chance." His words carry weight, grounded in decades of treating patients. White saw hearts heal when people embraced holistic change, diet, exercise, and a refusal to give in. You're doing that. You're grilling salmon. It's omega-3s fortifying your arteries like armor. You're checking cholesterol, not out of fear, but with the resolve of someone who knows their power. You're moving, maybe jogging through a park, the crunch of gravel underfoot, or stretching in the soft glow of morning light. Each step, each choice, is a testament to your resilience. Let's rewind to the 1930s, when White pushed for exercise as heart medicine, a radical idea then. Here's the quirky bit. He'd ride a bicycle to work, baffling colleagues who thought rest was the only cure for heart trouble. His example stuck, proving movement heals. Historians still debate whether White's emphasis on lifestyle overshadowed early drug therapies, but that tension only fuels your fire. It reminds you that resilience means balancing science with action. You're not waiting for a pill to save you. You're saving yourself. Resilience is in the small victories. You feel it when you pass on dessert, the sweet temptation fading against your stronger will. You sense it in the steady rhythm of your breath after workout, your heart thanking you with every beat. You're not perfect, nobody is, but you're relentless. You've built a life where fish-rich meals and cholesterol checks aren't chores, but rituals of strength. You're not just preventing disease. You're crafting a legacy. Picture it. Years from now, you're still here, vibrant, telling stories of how you took control. That's the climax, the emotional surge that carries you forward. And now, as the sun dips low, casting long shadows across your path, you pause. Your heart beats softly, steadily, a reminder of what you fought for. You've chosen fish over fries, movement over stagnation, knowledge over ignorance. Each choice was a thread, woven into a tapestry of resilience. You're not just living, you're flourishing, your heart a quiet warrior, sustained by your purpose. This isn't the end. It's a beginning. You carry this strength, this clarity, into every tomorrow. Your heart, once at risk, now hums with possibility. You've built this,